How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing all
Good.
right. I'm doing all right.
All right, just
Fantastic.
all right.
Good.
Allergies, man. Allergies.
I'm doing okay as well. I'm feeling a lot better now that I'm off work and I'm almost to the end of my week.
Yay.
So
Yay.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm starting vacation.
Yeah,
nice.
Nick's on
I'll be
vacation
picking
next
up.
week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm taking Tuesday off. I gotta my mom is in Texas and her mother can't watch her because they have a similar policy where if someone goes on vacation that no one else can take time off really. So I get to do that at my work, but that's
Sweet.
okay.
Cool.
I know. I get to pretty much have a day off just to watch the little one. And it's actually not that, it's actually pretty, she's actually a lot easier now that she can sleep as long as she wants, although she's teething. So
Of course.
that's,
Me.
Always something.
They're always
I
changing.
know.
Well,
Oh, yeah. Well,
let's get on with the show. This is the Couch Co-op. We are a weekly podcast where we drink a beer. We take turns picking that beer. We choose a beer. We drink a beer. We tell you about that beer. And Jarrod, I believe Red Stripe is today's. No.
Yeah, it was supposed to be Red Stripe, but you can't get it in most places, it seems.
It's like they're
So we couldn't
discontinuing it
find any.
almost.
Yeah.
And
I somehow,
the local location that I have said they don't even have any scheduled until 2 months from now.
Jesus.
oh
So
man,
it's been out for a
Wow.
couple months already.
uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
I asked at my local place and they said they haven't seen it for months, if not
Yeah.
years now. So
yeah, I haven't seen it really anywhere. And I guess I just went to a specialty shop out in Gresham to find it, and I couldn't find it. But I'm still hoping to
Yeah,
find
so
it.
I'm just gonna refrigerate the bottle I have and enjoy it.
And
Yeah,
someday maybe we'll
same.
Yeah.
Oh,
So in its place,
yeah.
I chose a beer I've never had, but it's been around a really
I've
long
never
time.
had
It's
it.
from Anchor Brewing Company. It's their steam beer.
Have any of us had it?
I've had it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
So
I had this back in the 90s. It was probably one of the first American like craft beers I ever had because you could get this in the UK.
Currently owned by
some reason.
Sapporo.
I had it before. It's pretty good, actually. That's
Mhm.
what I remember, but it's been a long time. So
Maybe
yeah.
that's why the branding changed. But
Yeah, it used to be a very
Yeah.
kind of traditional looking label.
Classic.
Didn't
I loved it.
let's
yeah,
pop it.
now it's super bright, and yeah, we need to pop this
3,
right now.
2, 1.
Popping.
I love one.
Kinda quiet.
Hmm.
What is this, like an amber? What is this?
A lager.
A lager? Is it?
Yes. I had to look it up just so I knew what kind of glass to pour it in.
I was like, no, it's a steam beer. What the fuck's a steam beer?
Oh, that's
No,
a beer
I
that
mean, just,
that's a beer that was
Lager.
brewed before the invention of ice, so you didn't have
Oh.
any temperature control.
mm,
So, like, you'd brew a lager and you'd ferment it at a certain temperature. Well, they just fermented this they brewed it in San Francisco, and it's about 70 degrees there all the time, from what I
mm.
heard.
Hmm.
I think it's a
So
little
when they
colder at
brewed
times.
the lager,
They do a
they'd put it up on the roofs to cool after they'd
So-
made it, and when the liquid's cooling, you can see the steam coming off and ferment it.
Reminds me of Session.
whatever that is.
I could see that.
Smells pretty good.
Mm.
It does. It's got quite a nice complex flavor,
Mm-hmm.
and the hops kind of shine through, but they're not obnoxious.
Right.
And it's
That's
4.9%,
tasty.
so it's kind of a beer you could drink quite a bit of.
Yeah, that's
It's
a lot of
crisp.
flavor for so low alcohol.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's very crisp at the very end. Like it doesn't the flavor just kind of disappears for the most
Yeah,
part
yeah.
after
There's a
you
lot
drink
of flavor, but it's like it doesn't outstay its welcome, and
it. Mm-hmm.
I get the
really like this.
maltiness in the back end.
crisp is a really
Yeah.
good description because it's
Yeah,
quite
this
dry
is great.
feeling. There's no like sweetness to it.
Okay, here's a weird thing. I don't know.
No.
On the Wikipedia, Anchor Brewing Company, under key people, Arnold Schwarzenegger is listed.
Oh,
Maybe
interesting.
he
I don't. Let me see if
maybe
I can find where
he's
it's
a
at.
co-owner.
Maybe.
I have no idea. No idea.
Sounds like
I'm
something
looking.
worth a Google.
I also like the
Drink
bottle
the
design.
No, I
I
can't say
really.
anything.
Yeah, they really simplified the logo.
I mean,
Mhm.
It's a lot cleaner.
Claim their history goes back to like 1871. They said that
Really?
the brewer came over for the gold rush and then started a saloon and then started a brewery and kind of went from there.
Nice.
And so, I mean, for an American brewery, especially a West Coast one, it's very old.
It's one of the last remaining breweries to produce California common beer. What does that mean? Oh, also known as steam beer.
Interesting.
Also known as
Huh.
steam beer.
That's California common beer, huh? Steam beer.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder.
Huh.
I've never seen another steam beer.
No,
Oh,
I haven't.
In August 2017, it was acquired by Japanese brewing giant Sapporo for $85 million. Whew.
Dang.
so what I
That's a
think's
chunk of change.
amazing is that so they started brewing this in 1971, and by 1975
I think it's.
they made
Where do you get
Anchor Porter.
1896?
No, but they started brewing it and bottling it. I think they've been brewing it for a long time, but the first time they bottled it was 71, and then by 75 they had Anchor Porter, Liberty Ale, Old Foghorn, and the first annual Christmas Ale, and they still make all
Yep.
of those beers.
They also make other ones too.
Yeah,
They
they've
call
got
that 1971 bottling date the first modern bottling. So maybe that's when like glass bottles started being like really, really like high volume distribution kind of a thing.
Yeah, my guess is it was only available on tap for a long
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I remember when I went to the place where I got this, they actually have different ones I've never heard of, like a hazy, a juicy, and other weird ones on there I never heard of before, but I've never really explored that store itself, so that was a big shock when I saw it. So I'm glad I'm trying this.
So this is great. So Anchor shut its doors briefly in 1959, but was bought and reopened the following year. By 1965, however, it was doing so poorly that it nearly closed again. Anchor's situation continued to deteriorate, largely because the current owners lacked the expertise, equipment, and attention to cleanliness that were required to produce consistent batches of beer for commercial consumption. The brewery gained a reputation for producing sour, bad beer.
Oh wow, that
Interesting.
must have been some rough beer.
So then then it was saved again in so like it started getting bottled in 1971, but it was purchased again. Where did I just lost that? But they were purchased again in 1979 and moved to its current location where it's been better.
Yeah, so it's not like a family brewery that's been in a family for years.
It's been handed over quite a few times.
Yeah.
But they're celebrating the brand name at least for their 125th anniversary right now.
Yeah, it's like they're celebrating the continuity of the brand, but it's
I
kind
can
of
see
like
why
a game of telephone with the owners.
I can see why this beer
Right.
has stuck around in bottles though since 1971, because for such an old beer, it still holds up taste-wise today. I mean, it's still very pleasant.
Well, they have it
It's
in
got
cans
nice
too.
hoppiness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've seen it in cans.
but I mean, it's a lovely
I
color. It's
saw it online.
just
Not
the
perfect.
right amount of refreshment. It's just a nice beer.
They finally figure it out. That's really good.
Yeah,
Nice
it
lager to
doesn't
have on a mild San
taste
Francisco
sour.
day.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
It's
Oh, what is it?
Yeah, I get the feeling you could quaff quite a few of these and you know,
you
There's
could
a-
call it a
Yeah.
night after a 6-pack, but you're not. You could call it a night after having like a 6 or a 12-pack, but you don't really have to. It's not like a lot like a double IPA or whatever where it's one and done or
Yeah.
anything like that. It's nice for what it is.
Not heavy, but also not too light either.
Exactly.
and it's got enough. I can't think of anything that tastes quite like it. It's like a pale ale, but with a bit more of a kind of like bite to it.
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
a
I was
lot of
almost
taste.
I was thinking like some of it reminds me of like longboard lager in some taste, and then maybe some maybe a little bit of Dead Guy, maybe a little bit of a much less bitter Boston Lager from Sam Adams.
I think
They're
the
just like
higher temperature of
pieces.
fermentation gives it like just a more interesting body, because it doesn't suffer
Yeah.
from what Ian dislikes about a lot of craft lagers, which is where they brew a
Yeah.
lager and make it an IPA on the
Yeah.
hops at least.
Yeah.
I found the Arnold Schwarzenegger connection.
1977 TV show.
Yeah, Streets of San Francisco, baby.
Oh.
He was actually in the brewery, and he's like carrying around a keg.
Huh.
And,
Yeah,
they're in
I
the
was trying to
they're in the
like a-
bottling. I'm looking at the photos and stuff. It's pretty ridiculous. Isn't that like
And
the
by
Kirk
the way,
Douglas
he would be like
song
an
or something,
investor.
or a show? Streets of San Francisco, Kirk Douglas or Michael Douglas or something.
I don't know.
I feel like that. Yeah, Michael Douglas. Anyway,
But I know in 1989, Steam came out with a limited edition beer. They named it Ninkasi.
Ah,
oh
and that's
boy,
how Ninkasi was
and it was
conceived.
downhill from there.
Do you want me to read this little blurb about what a California common beer is?
Sure.
The California Common is brewed with lager yeast but fermented at ale fermentation temperatures. There is a noticeable degree of toasted malt and or caramel-like malt character in flavor and often in aroma, often referred to as steam beer and made famous by San Francisco's Anchor Brewing Company. Seek out woody and mint flavor from the northern brewer hops.
Hmm.
Oh, that's interesting. The minty.
Indeed. Indeed.
And the
Very
food pairings
interesting.
they recommend: pork loin, feta, or bread pudding.
I could see
So-
the first two, but I don't know or want to have anything with pudding because it's pretty much sugar. And you're adding beer to sugar, that's like a hangover waiting to happen.
So I've heard of it's commercial examples. There's Bauhaus Brew Labs has California Common. Southern Tier Brewing Company. I've heard of that. They have
Yeah, they're out
THC.
on they're in
All
New
right,
York.
Bauhaus.
Yeah, they
Southern
have
Tier? I thought they
yeah,
were
Southern
Oregon
Tier.
based.
I
No, I
don't
thought
know.
they're Oregon based. Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't
Southern
know
Tier?
either.
Steamworks Brewing Company. These all have California Common that's popular.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah,
All right, so, something to look out for, I guess. 'Cause I'm
well,
enjoying
you
it.
don't. Southern Tier is not available in Oregon anymore, unfortunately. But
Damn.
Not
yeah, they're a fine New York
just
brewery.
I remember the chocolate stout and then their pumpkin. I remember those. Those
Oh
are the two I
yeah,
remember.
that's right.
That's a great name.
Yeah, Jarrod. Actually, when we were working for Odom, when they had beer, Southern Tier was one of the beers they carried.
Yeah, that's right. That's
I
what
remember that. I remember that for a hot minute, and then Melias absorbed it for a little while,
Mm,
and now it's gone.
Yep.
At
Bye.
least in Oregon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're still around. I follow them on social media.
Okay.
right.
Yeah, they have a steam beer.
Nice.
Good to know.
Cool.
I know. It's funny when I went to go get this beer, I didn't want to have a 6-pack of it. Now that it's gone, I regret not getting that 6-pack.
Excuse me, I'm going grabbing another.
Yeah, no doubt. I should buy. I want to buy more of this. It's actually good.
I know that I was like I wasn't sure because I haven't had it for quite a while because ingredients change and recipes change and once they're bought up
Yeah,
by a mega
ownership.
conglomerate, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna. Will I like this if I buy it again? Because I liked it when I first tried it because it was the old label, but
Yeah.
now that I'm looking at it, I regret not buying that 6-pack.
So after you stop drinking it, a little bit of the bitterness sticks to your tongue, and it's kind of dried out my tongue a bit.
Yeah, it does stay with you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's not noxious or anything like that. It's actually pretty
Exactly.
pleasant bitterness. Yeah. Some
It's
beers
tame.
leave like that. It's just like dumped a whole bunch of leaf dust on your tongue, and this just tastes like a nice pleasant hop.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get that. You don't. It's staying around, but it's like it's wanting to leave, but it's like I'm just gonna hang here just in case he wants more, and I'm okay with that because it's actually quite tasty.
Yeah.
As long as I don't taste it in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, just
that's
don't drink more than about 6 of them. You'll be fine.
Good
well,
plan.
Always a good call.
I can back that. I can get behind that rule. Don't drink 6 of them if you know the first taste after the first try.
Beer Advocate says it drinks more like a Kolsch than a lager. I don't know if I agree with that.
I
The feeling
disagree.
of it, like the body of it, maybe.
I could kind of see that, but then I think Kolsch and lager pretty much taste the same to me. I couldn't pick them out in the lineup.
Yeah, Kolsch has like some richness to it that I really appreciate.
Yeah.
I like a Kolsch beer.
Yeah, I remember there was one Kolsch I liked at some worthy brewery. It was called the Easy Day, or wherever it was, and that was actually quite tasty. I never really had a Kolsch up until that point, but it was quite tasty. But it was definitely a little rich, like what Jarrod said, for what it's worth. But it was a very low. It was definitely like a your dad's beer type thing.
Well, we've all finished it.
All gone.
Yeah, I'm on my
Yeah.
second.
Sad.
Yeah.
What do we want to rate this one?
I'm going thumbs up.
Up.
I want to go half.
So that's 4.5.
I'm probably like
I
here,
get it.
but I don't know.
Alright.
I don't think it's anything special. I think you guys are hyping it up a little more.
I like it. I don't think there's anything I've tasted that's quite like it.
Well,
It's
Really?
distinct.
I seriously think it tastes like session, man.
here's the thing with me, I love IPAs. Don't get me wrong, I love my IPAs, but that was a nice, good break from an IPA because IPAs are very like they can be really complex and like mess with your freaking taste buds for a long period of time. And this is a nice reset.
I think it's great.
That's
I don't disagree that this is a good beer. I would never buy this.
Oh,
I just
no. Oh, no,
I
I
have
get
no
it.
interest.
I get it.
in
I
So,
get that,
Aaron,
but I'm just saying.
Aaron, if you had been drinking something else, maybe more in line with like other lagers, you think maybe it would have hit you a little bit different, like maybe a little less favorably, or
It might have actually, yes, because if I was doing a lager run and then I tried that, I'd probably like another lager. But since I drink a lot of IPAs, this is a nice little reset for the taste buds. It really was because you get so used to one type of beer for a long period of time, and it's like, gosh, I'm getting burnt out on this. I need something different now, as I'm going to be done for a long period of time.
It's
I
kind
It doesn't help that
definitely
every
hear
company
that.
has like
it's a
40
funny
billion
thing, and I
IPAs.
think the beers you like, you have a certain attention to. Because where everyone says lagers all taste the same, I can taste the variance in all of them. Whereas you guys think IPAs all taste different, and I start thinking they just like all start tasting the fucking same. Like, so it's like I
No,
think it's
they
just
begin. There's burnout. There's
there's
thing
definitely
called
burnout, but I don't
just-
get burned out on lagers because I always like a cold, refreshing beer. So like
that's
those
just-
I
that's
never get
it,
burned out
though.
on that type of beer. I get burnt out on
But
like
that's just
IPAs
it,
and
though.
stuff.
Yes, exactly. That's the thing. It's like you can get burned out on IPA with lager. It's like I go for a little while. I'm like, this is great, but then I kind of just
Yeah, but you
it's not
guys
that I
don't
get
drink
burnt
lagers
out,
all the
I
time, and then
miss
your
it.
comments are always they taste the same. And I am like always like, whatever.
I can't fault Ian.
Whatever.
Don't get me wrong. Just because they
Yeah,
taste
yeah.
the same doesn't mean it's bad.
They don't
Lagers are
taste the
good,
same, is what I'm saying.
I get it. I get it.
You guys think they taste the same, but they do not. Just like when I get burned out on IPAs, they all taste the same to me. But you guys don't drink the amount of lagers I drink. So I don't ever have lager burnout or pilsner burnout. So anyway, I was just thinking about that the other day.
Enough of one thing to get burnt out.
That's true. And then Jared drinks sours, so That's a whole nother.
I drink
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff.
Man, Jarrod, you
That's
should have
more-
checked out this beer that this quote unquote beer I had at Ben's Bottle Shop last night. It's a rum floff.
Dark lager.
No, it's
It
something
was-
totally
it was-
different. It looks like a dark beer. It tastes kind of like a wine / sour / beer. It was crazy weird.
It's almost like someone
Yeah,
took
that's
a.
interesting.
It was pretty good.
It's
It wasn't
almost-
bad.
It's like a Mad Libs of like.
Yeah,
beer
100%.
description.
It's like
Do
an
you
old ass
remember what
beer.
company did it?
Instead
What
of
it was?
All right.
being barrel aged in whiskey, it's barrel aged in rum.
Oh, interesting.
And it's like a really
no.
it's a really fruity kind of beer.
Okay.
But I
Okay.
got it because it's
Closer
called
to like a gose.
well, it's from Oregon City Brewing, so it was called Oregon City Rum Cluff. It's like a type
Huh.
of beer, rum pluff. I don't know what it's fucking weird ass, some like old style. But it
Interesting.
reminded me. It's like I was like, no one's gonna like this, but Jarrod would probably dig it.
I don't know. I didn't think it was that bad.
I didn't think it was bad. No, I actually liked it. I just wasn't over the moon with it.
So Ian, back to your comment on
It's-
lagers. I think the reason I think they all taste the same is because I drink them so irregular. I don't drink lager very often. You know, it's not.
Yes,
I
exactly.
drink it maybe once a month, so it's like my taste memory is hazy. You know, when I come to drink it again.
Man, it's like me in
Exactly.
video games with trying to remember how to play them, like which controllers do what.
Exactly.
Speaking of video games, Jarrod, what video game are you gonna pair Anchor Steam Beer with? Anchor's away. Better be a boat game.
Well,
Steampunk.
yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh,
Anchors away.
I thought you were going to go for Bioshock.
Oh well.
Oh, yeah, maybe
that'd
it is
been good.
underwater.
That's underwater.
Yeah.
But
That's
there's
the
more
water
boats.
in it. It's very steampunk.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
pick Sea of
True.
Thieves.
Okay. Yeah, I should download that and play that.
You should try that. You probably dig it.
Game Pass, yeah. I
Anyway,
don't know.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag is a good choice. Nick DeWin, you're up to bat, my friend. What
Are
beer?
we doing a listener?
Oh, we are, but we can drop that in whenever. So like if
Yeah.
Okay.
if we don't
We're all
get if
gonna
Dave doesn't get
require
it, if Dave doesn't get it by next Sunday, we can just do your choice,
Okay.
and then we can just drop the listener request can just kind of get put in. So
Yeah,
we are
I
doing
haven't
we
tried
did get a
to use
listener
these
request. We will be doing a listener request beer. That'll be a secret until that episode drops.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to pull back the curtain.
Jesus,
No,
no,
it's
it's
all good.
fine. We didn't tell him what beer it was.
We never revealed what it is.
Oh, okay.
That's the secret.
But no, you are up to bat next, Nick. So what beer are you picking for your week?
Oh, Trumer Pills.
Yeah.
I forgot to grab the bottle. It's downstairs, but I'm sure someone
Another
has
lager
it.
that's just going to taste the same as the rest of them.
I
Just the
know.
same.
Isn't that a gluten-free beer or
No. Mm-mm.
something like that? Okay, I thought they made a gluten-free one. I'm trying to think of.
I'm sure they'd make lots of gluten-free lagers.
So I
right?
swear I've had this before,
Okay.
and I seem to remember it being good, but I may have only had it once. But
I've never had it.
Neither have
Well, if you've had
That's
one,
why
you've had them all.
I distributed
Yeah,
it.
true.
Right. Just like Profuse Juice. If you've had that, you've had every IPA in the world. So, yeah, that's it. Let's get out of here. We are the Couch Co-op. We are on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music. Rest in peace, Red Stripe. Spotify now offers video podcasts, so you can watch us on Spotify, or you can watch us on youtube.com/milkmanpictures. What else? Yeah, I think that's it.
You're
Everyone,
responsible.
Beer responsible.
what?
Be responsible.
Beer responsible?
yep,
Drink
nice.
responsibly.
You're responsible.
Huh?
Yeah.
We need to
Need
get
to be
together. We
responsible,
need to get
that's a
together
logo I can
soon.
hang my hat
We need to
on.
get together soon so we can do a group picture of all of us together. So I can.
And,
Yeah,
maybe,
cool.
and maybe a beer swap, so we can all have the no difficulties
Yeah.
getting the
Yeah.
Beer responsible.
Right.
couple of beers I'd like to share with you guys, but I know that you'd have a hard time finding them.